See, aldehyde and ketones, they give nucleophilic addition reactions. Nucleophilic addition reaction means they all have carbonyl group and nucleophile attack on them, and this nucleophile break the bond carbon and oxygen, that is delta negative, and this is delta positive. So this nucleophile attack on this, and this is the step 1, and on the next step it accept the proton and get stabilized, OH, Nu, and these two valencies. This is the step 2nd. This step is the slow step, and this is the fast. And slow step is the RDS, that is rate determining step. So we need to study the mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction. Here if you see in the carbon, this is sp2 hybridize. Carbon is sp2 hybridize. Now this carbon on addition of nucleophile convert into sp3, because when intermediate is made, that time this bond is break. This intermediate capture a proton in the second step. Here in the second step, it capture proton and get stabilized, and the product is formed. So the net result in this addition is nucleophile and proton across the carbon oxygen double bond, right? Now this is the simple mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction. And if we talk about the reactivity of aldehyde and ketones, generally aldehyde are more reactive. Why? Because in the carbon oxygen double bond, here it is H and here it is R, and in ketone both RR is there surrounding the carboxylic group. So this ketone gives more steric hindrance to the carbon. Here only one R group, here two R group. So this protect from being attacked on the by the nucleophile on the nucleophilic center. So sterically, the presence of two relatively large substituent in ketone hinder the approach of nucleophile to carbonyl carbon than in aldehyde, because in aldehyde you see only one R group, but here it is two R group. So when nucleophile attack on this, there is a steric hindrance, and here less hindrance because one is what? H. So that's why you can say that aldehyde is more reactive than the ketone, right? Now we will take few examples of nucleophilic addition or nucleophilic addition elimination reactions one by one. First, addition of hydrogen cyanide HCl. Addition of HCN, hydrogen cyanide. Hydrogen cyanide, when react with carbonyl group, this CN, HCN, in presence of base, first it make the nucleophile Cn minus and H2O. This nucleophile attack on the carbonyl group of carbon. How? As we have seen, this is delta negative, this is delta positive. Breaking of the bond take place, and cyanide being a nucleophile Attack on what? It attack on carbon. So what will happen? This double bond breaks, convert into single bond, creating negative charge on oxygen and positive charge on carbon, which is satisfied by the cyanide, right? So this is an intermediate is made. Step 1, and this is a tetrahedral intermediate. After in the second stage, what happens? This accept the proton, it capture the proton as we have seen in the mechanism and become stable. How? This become OH and this is CN. This is called cyanohydrin. Cyanohydrin. So this is a very good example of nucleophilic addition reaction, addition of HCN, and it is catalyzed with a base. This is catalyzed with a base because base, in presence of base HCN, form a stronger nucleophile CN minus. Then the addition of sodium hydrogen sulfide NaHSO3. Now you keep on doing this all reactions, very simple. C double bond O reaction with NaHSO3. Remember Na plus, HSO3 minus, oxygen minus and carbon plus. What will happen? You will say plus attack on minus, minus attack on plus. This and minus attack on plus. So what will happen? It will give us O react with Na and this reacts with SO3H, plus with the minus, minus with the plus. It's an intermediate. But later on, a proton transfer take place. What is proton transfer? This H and Na, this get transferred. So what is the ultimate product? You will say OH and SO3Na, right? This is a bisulfite addition compound. So here also ketones gives less reaction, less reactive because of the steric regions. Then third is the addition of Grignard reagent. Number 3, addition of Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent RMGX. Take the carbonyl group of aldehyde or ketone. Take one RMGX. Suppose you take RMGX. You can take CS3MgBr anything. Now what will happen? You have seen that this is minus, this is plus. Here this is plus and this is minus. So how it will react? R react with C and Mg react with O. Now what is the product? Product will be carbon gets this oxygen get MgBr and carbon get R, right? And then in the step 2, we have to hydrolyze this H and OH. Now how hydrolysis take place? As you see is Mg is plus, O is minus, H is plus, O is minus. So this MgBrOH is removed and H is captured by oxygen. So what is the ultimate product? COH, this is R and this one. And what is byproduct? MgOHBr. What is this? This is an alcohol. You can see you can get the alcohol from ketone or aldehyde by using Grignard reagent. Reaction number 4. This is a very important reaction, Grignard reagent, RMGX, how, and we can get different type of alcohol, 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree. Just see how we can get 2 degree, how we can get 1 degree, and how we can get 3 degree by changing this R over here. If you take formaldehyde, you will get 1 degree, that you study in the alcohol also. Now, number 4, addition of alcohols. Addition of alcohols. So very easy. Take C double bond O and take one alcohol. Like you take R dash OH. Same mechanism. Plus and minus. This is delta negative, delta positive. Here H is plus and RO is minus. So H, I take on this. It will make what? O react with H and C react with OR dash. This is called hemiacetal. Hemi means half. Hemiacetal. If you react it with one more molecule of R dash OH alcohol, then what will happen in the presence of a proton? Both are reversible. So this ROH remove the H from here again by H2O. So what is the product? Here also OR dash and here also OR dash. This is called acetal. Hemiacetal and acetal and water is removed. So addition of alcohol with the aldehyde, they form hemiacetal, which further react with the one more molecule of alcohol and it gives acetal. Same reaction take place with the ketone. Ketone react with ethylene glycol. See, take one ketone. Ketone means C double bond O, but here compulsory we have to take RR. I'll take here R and H because it is aldehyde. And this is what? Ketone. Now, with the ketone, take the ethylene glycol. What is ethylene glycol? CH2, CH2, OH, OH. Now, with ethylene glycol in the presence of HCl gas or dilute HCl, this double bond gets broken down and it make what? H2O. And the product will be R, R, C. This become OCH2 and OCH2 and bond. Very simple. This one, this way. This is called kettle. This is normally ethylene glycol and kettle. This was acetal from aldehyde and ketone gives kettle plus H2. Just very simple example of nucleophilic addition reactions. So aldehyde and ketone give respective acetal or kettle, and it's a very important reaction. Reaction number 5 of nucleophilic addition reaction. Number 5, addition of ammonia and its derivatives. How it react? First, understand the mechanism. Suppose this is C double bond O and it react with ammonia, NH3. So instead of NH3, we are taking NH2 and one H makes the Z. Z means this keep on changing. यहाँ पे कुछ भी नया लेते जाना है, right? अब mechanism कैसे होगा that you understand. First of all, this hydrogen from here are take on this. What? Oxygen. Only one H. And remaining are take on the carbon. So what happens? Oxygen get hydrogen and carbon gets NH and Z, remaining NHZ, which is an intermediate which on further loses water. It will lose water OH and H. So on losing water, they will make the double bond. Why? Because one bond of carbon and one bond of nitrogen. So they give us C double bond NZ plus water. H2 is removed, right? This is the product. Now this way you can write all the addition product of ammonia and its derivative. I'll take one, two example more. Suppose C double bond O react with NH2 and instead of Z I'll take R. R means it's a amine, methylamine, ethylamine, whatever. So what is the mechanism? H attack on this oxygen. So what is the product? OH and remaining is what? NHR. And in the second stage, what we have to do? We have to remove water, OH and H. So what will happen? Double bond will be there because one bond of carbon, one bond of nitrogen and R. This is called Schiff base, yeah, imine, 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 or this is also called SCHIFF, Schiff base, right? So you keep on taking this R different, this Z difference, you will get various product. Suppose you take C double bond O plus NH2 and you are to take OH. What will happen? H from here take on this OH and what is left? NHOH. This remove the water from where? OH and H. After taking water, again double bond is there between N and OH. This is called oxime. This is called oxime because first is hydroxylamine gives oxime. Suppose you take C double bond O NH2 and instead of Z you take again NH2 which is hydrazine. This is what? Hydrazine. So what is the mechanism? You have learned H from here attack on this, remaining attack on carbon. So it will give us OH and rest give us what? NH and NH2. Then remove the water, OH from here, H from here, and it will make us what? Double bond N and NH2. This is called hydrazone. This is hydrazine. This gives hydrazone. So what you have to understand? You have to understand this value of Z. This keep on changing everywhere. Here we took R, here we took OH, here we took NH2. This is same everywhere. And this water loss and giving double bond is important. So this is the first reaction, that is nucleophilic addition reactions of aldehyde and ketone. Now come to the second reaction, that is reduction. Number 2, Second property is what? Reduction of aldehyde and ketones. On reduction, it gives either alcohol or alcohol or alkanes. So first, we can reduce it to alcohol, reduction to alcohol by using a strong reducing agent. Suppose you take C double bond O and you reduce with the reducing agent NaBH4, sodium borohydride या LiAlH4. So they will supply hydrogen to both, and this gives CH and OH. This is what? Alcohol. So common reducing agent LiLH4, NaH4, they convert it into alcohol. But you take a strong reducing agent, then this will be converted into hydrocarbon, that is alkane. Hydrocarbon. Take the example of any other example of hydrocarbon conversion. Suppose you react with the uh, zinc mercury as a reducing agent, ZnHg. It's an amalgam of zinc in presence of HCl. HCl, what will happen? This break the bond and it is reduced into CH2, right? Or water, H2O. So this is called Clemention reduction. This is called Clemention reduction. It's a naming reaction. You have to learn this Clemention reduction. What? ZnHgHCl, this, which reduces it into what? You take here 4 because 4 hydrogen is utilized. Then one more example, Wolff-Kishner reduction. In Wolff-Kishner, what happens? Same C double bond O is reduced, but it is reduced by hydrazine. Just now we did hydrazine NH2 and NH2. Z is again NH2. So H from here, rest from here. Same what we have done. So this first give OH and NH2, which loses water, gives C double bond and NH2, and then we have to hydrolyze with alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH, which reduces it into what? CH2. That is what? Alkane, and nitrogen is removed. This is called Wolff-Kishner. So both you have to remember what is Wolff-Kishner and what is Clemention reduction. In both the cases, the product is same. Product is hydrocarbon, that is alkane. So that you have to understand